You've all heard of Smile Dog, right? That terrifying picture of a husky smiling in a dynamic way. Well, I was looking at internet memes and scary stories a few days ago. I stumbled across an Urban Legends video, which I found intriguing. I watched the video, and it told us a few basic facts about spontaneous human combustion and sleep paralysis. The video also contained a couple of screamers to kill the mood a little. The end story was of Smile Dog. It simply presented the picture and told the viewer the legend. I researched it a bit more and found it to be terrifying, but quite cool. I began talking about it to my friends in school the next day. It turned into something of a common interest. People would often use it jokingly. Like in a history lesson, our teacher told us that he collapsed on the floor, and my friend leaned towards me and said, "I guess he saw Smile Dog," and it would often make us laugh. We then found other stories, such as Red Mist, or Squidward Suicide, or Candle Cove. We dropped the subject of Smile Dog for a while after that. In our school, we often talked to this boy. His name was Michael. He was a strange child. He never spoke to us, and he would often keep to himself. We had no idea where he would be at lunchtimes. He wouldn't be hanging out with us, but we found it not to be of our concern. He would often leave class early to visit a hospital, as he was rather a sickly child. He told me of only a few of his afflictions, the most noticeable being epilepsy and schizophrenia. He would never show any signs of these, though. If we mentioned them, he would often laugh them off and dismiss them. He approached me one day, intrigued about Smile Dog. I replied, "Oh, that thing? It's obviously fake." Then he asked me if he could see it, but I didn't save it or anything, so I told him to look it up. He walked away without looking back. I didn't see Michael the next day. He was supposed to be in a few of our lessons, but he wasn't there. Nobody, not even the teachers, knew where he was. It was after our first lesson when I was called into the principal's office. The principal sat me down in front of his desk and told me that Michael was put in a psychiatric asylum. Apparently he saw something scary and he keeps having visions of it. He asked me if I had any idea of what it might be. I immediately remembered Smile Dog and told him. The principal immediately brought up his computer, and I was faced with the Google search engine. I changed the search to images and typed in Smile Dog. I showed the principal the full unedited image of Smile Dog. I looked on his face and saw a look of concern and fear as he stared at the picture. He then told me that Michael wanted to see me. We immediately got in his car and drove to the asylum. We both entered the colossal building until we were stopped by a doctor. The doctor said that Michael only wanted to see his friend. The principal gave me a bewildered look, and I said, "That's fine. I'll see you in a few minutes." I strolled down the large, intimidating corridor and reached room 204. The room had padded floors and walls, and a light. No windows, except for a viewing slot through the door. When I walked in, I was terrified. Michael was lying face down in the middle of the room, with his hands still gripped tight around his neck. He was pale. Blood was all over the place. He was dead. There was a crumpled note on the floor, next to him. It was for me. I read the note. Dear Joe Winko, I saw the smile dog you showed me. It's everywhere. No matter what we do, it cannot be stopped. It appears even in the brightest moments of your life. It will always be watching, never moving. It will not go away. Why did they put me in this room? Why? I had no escape. No matter how much I kicked off, the doctors wouldn't believe me. This was my only way out. What if the dog is still there during death? When you are weak, he will drag you down from hell from where he came. This is reality, Joe. Do not ever mention Smile Dog again. I pocketed the note and alerted the doctors. Upon further inspection of his body, his hand was blocking a horrifying, vicious bite into his neck. The teeth marks matched that of a dog's. A Siberian Husky. In the aftermath of his death, I kept going over and over that note in my head. I couldn't believe it. He was such a nice boy. I regret every bad thing I ever said to him. But why did it have to end this way for him? There's a small part in my head that makes me think that I'm responsible, but every other portion in my head believes it's all fake. Should I have been more aware of Michael's afflictions? The only trouble is, I'm running out of options to believe here. I didn't know schizophrenia was contagious. I kept seeing that damn dog in the corner of my eye everywhere I go. It's starting to get on my nerves. I hear panting and scratching on my door. Wait a minute. Is that... No!